Chapter 44. We're going to look at 19th century opera. Part of the Romantic era was finding country styles within music. Very distinct national styles emerged, as I talked about the revolutions that were occurring in different areas of the world. And with that brought a sense of nationalism, a sense of wanting to recall the glory of past days and the glory of their own culture. Italy, Germany, and France had all very distinct styles of opera. Um, Typically, there were different styles that were marketed to different places. For instance, for the home, you might have a piano uh, playing four hands, which means a duet there. Or in public, they would incorporate these opera arrangements with wind band melodies for other people to be able to hear it in the music they loved without having to go to the opera. But music was very popular and it was affordable. It's a very important pastime for people, no matter what socioeconomic status they were. The natural female voice was preferred. Gone are the days of the castrato singer. And there were a lot of women opera singers prominent in Europe, especially in Italy, and also in America. Jenny Lind, I don't know if you are familiar with that name, but she was a Swedish singer and featured in Barnum, which is a musical. She was a famous singer that traveled in America. There was also Italian operetta sopranos like Strepponi, but Italy was still the main place that most opera seria and opera buffa were continuing with a strong tradition. And remember, opera buffa is that comic opera versus opera seria. The bel canto style is the style that describes a lot of Verdi's music, which just means beautiful singing, bel canto. And so the melody lines are very florid, pure tones. The voice had to have great agility to be able to perform these types of songs. And Giuseppe Verdi was an amazing opera composer who almost as frequently as Mozart operas, Verdi operas will show up on the season tickets for different opera companies. He did experience a lot of loss in his life. He actually married Strepponi, the famous opera singer. He composed during a major time in Italy where they were trying to liberate themselves from the Habsburg rule. And so he became somewhat of a political hero as well because he associated his music with some of this political movement, the Italian unification movement. And so he was, interestingly, a part of the Senate as well. So his music is associated with some of the patriotic sense of that time period as well. He loved Shakespeare, and that was one of his favorite writers to pull from, the stories for his operas. He was very commercially successful, and his style is very appealing because of its melodies, the dramatic situations that he would put to life with his music. His output was 28 operas and vocal music, and he also wrote a mass called the Requiem, which is very popular as well. The piece you're going to listen to a little bit of is called Rigoletto, which is inspired by a play by Victor Hugo, another famous romantic poet and writer. There's deceit, there's lechery, there's treachery, lots of different big emotions here. It was set in the Renaissance, and you'll have a main character, the Duke, who is a womanizer, Rigoletto, who is the court jester, Gilda, who is Rigoletto's daughter, who he keeps in hiding. Then there's Sparafucile, the assassin, and Maddalena, Sparafucile's sister. The plot summary is basically, the Duke is constantly trying to seduce women, and Rigoletto has a curse put on him, Gilda becomes the Duke's next conquest, and Rigoletto wants him killed. The Duke ends up wooing Maddalena, which is the killer's daughter. Gilda sees the Duke's immorality and sacrifices herself for the Duke and dies in her arms, her father's arms, which was the fulfillment of the curse given to her father. It was one of the most popular operas of its day, immediate success, and is still performed today regularly. The aria that you will hear is Women Are Fickle. La donna immobile, or a woman is fickle. It's a strophic aria with a refrain, very catchy, and you'll hear the orchestra almost sounding like a guitar. And then Un Dì, One Day is a quartet with the Duke, Maddalena, Gilda, and Rigoletto. And you're going to hear different styles represented by each of those singers. And then Bella Figlia, Beautiful Daughter, which is the second part of the quartet. The opening melody is going to be by the Duke, and you're going to hear the characters interact and then they'll sing together. Please follow along with the translation so that you know what is actually happening. That will make it much more interesting. I would highly suggest you watching instead of just listening to operas. We're skipping that part so that you can see the acting as well.